two, 1 2 1 2 1 1 2 3. Check 1 2. Check 1 2 3 1 2.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kendra Mcdonald, and I'm the CEO of Canada's Ocean Supercluster. First, I'd like to acknowledge that the land on which we work are in the traditional territories of Indigenous groups and acknowledge with respect the diverse histories and cultures of the Beothuk, Mi'kmaq, Innu, and Inuit of this province of Newfoundland and Labrador, where we stand today. Transformation and changing the way that we do things, it's not easy. In fact, it takes a lot of people pulling on the same oar with a vision to do things differently. Canada's Ocean Supercluster is 2.5 years into its journey. And in fact, 2 years ago, we were here announcing the contribution agreement, I believe right here, which is exciting. Yeah. What began as a vision to do innovation differently in Canada has today become an industry-led national ocean cluster that is driving sustainable, inclusive ocean growth through cross-sectoral collaboration from coast to coast to coast and everywhere in between. We are seeing partnerships from across ocean sectors who have never worked together before in fisheries, aquaculture, offshore resources, defense, shipping, bioresources, marine renewables, and ocean technology to develop solutions to some of the biggest challenges in ocean, and then sell those solutions to the world. The world is taking note that something different is happening here. And as the ocean becomes increasingly digital, with every project we announce, we continue to position ourselves as a leader in ocean innovation. With close to 350 members, 42 projects approved, of which we are here to publicly announce number 15, and $200 million in total project value, we are building incredible momentum. It's momentum that we believe will truly be instrumental in triggering new activity, building capabilities, and creating jobs in ocean at a time when we very much need it, while also contributing to the recovery and long-term growth of our economy. By 2030, the global ocean economy will outpace the growth of the broader economy with an expected value of $3 trillion US. With the longest coastline in the world, tremendous resources and experience, and some of the most innovative people on the planet, this is our time to not only put our stake in the ground as an ocean nation, but emerge as a leader globally. I'd now like to invite Minister Seamus O'Regan forward to bring remarks on behalf of the Government of Canada.
Some Crown and Anchor. This reminds me of Crown and Anchor. You poor thing, there's nothing worse than when you get the spray bottle backwards. Like that? I get the glasses. Good for you. Thank you, Kendra. Minister Parsons, Fraser, Jonathan, everybody. First of all, we're getting a vaccine by the end of the month. You don't want to get too excited? You know it's going to be a long, hard winter. It is. And look, we're more blessed in this province than in many parts of the country or many parts of the world. And but I'll say this, you know, aside from the fact that we're an island and for the Labrador portion of our province, a relatively isolated part of the country, a lot of the reason why we're in good shape are the personal decisions of every Newfoundlander and Labradorian over the course of this past year. Every time you run outside and then you run back to the house because you forgot your mask. Every time you're on your way into Shoppers or Sobeys and you run back to the car because you forgot your mask, but you make sure you put the mask on. in a very civilized way, in a very courteous, considerate way, we have held our guard in this province. And now we know a vaccine's coming, and a vaccine will actually be here, albeit for a few people, but the priority people, and they will hit by the end of this month. So it is the light at the end of the tunnel. And I think it will make for a lot of families who are going to be separated from their children and grandchildren or parents and grandparents. It's going to make Christmas, maybe it will make Christmas that much more bearable, knowing that next Christmas will be that much better and will be that even more deeply appreciative for the blessings that we have. On to the business of the day, which really has a lot to do with how we are going to get out of the economic malaise that we find ourselves in, not just this province and not just this country, but the entire world. And it's going to be about making smart investments. And it's going to be about one of the big lessons learned of this pandemic, that people ultimately want their governments to work together, and they want industry to work together on common goals. It's been a few years since everybody got together, and we worked hard to ensure that we had a supercluster project based right here in Newfoundland and Labrador, the Ocean Supercluster. All of us working together, and Kendra could tell you, and I think Fraser could tell you, people who were there in the beginning, the Ocean Supercluster really came together when we first got on the long list, and then got on the short list, and then we got a supercluster. Because for the first time, people not only in different industries and academia and government were working together for the first time on ocean industries. Sometimes within those industries, companies were working together for the first time. And this today is a representation of what happens when we do all work together. With a realization that to succeed in today's global, innovation-driven economy, we have to identify and support areas of true strength, clusters of knowledge, economic activity, and research expertise, with a vision of making our province a tech hub that will compete in and succeed in the world. As we look beyond the current crisis, we are guided by a vision of a stronger Newfoundland and Labrador. A stronger province means building back a stronger economy and investing in sectors that are growing. It means exporting technology and know-how. A vision that will attract the brightest minds here, whether they be from away or whether they be our own sons and daughters deciding to stay here at home for good work, for exciting, fulfilling, meaningful work. For centuries, we have built our homes and fed our families and forged our friendships by carving a living from the rock and pulling sustenance from the sea. And I'll be honest, our success will take the same effort, determination, and ingenuity in 2020 as it did in 1610. The Canadian superclusters operate in 5 areas where Canada has the potential for significant competitive advantage, and that includes the ocean economy. From large anchor firms to smaller businesses, we wanted to foster stronger connections amongst all players in the innovation ecosystem because we know that that's where the best and the boldest ideas come to life. It was an ambitious $950 million investment in the industry and with the industry. And it's paying off. Today, we celebrate our newest project, which promises to change the life or the practice of ocean monitoring. With an investment of more than $720,000 from Canada's Ocean Supercluster, Rudder and its partners are undertaking a $3.1 million project that will transform Rudder's existing radar-based systems into an Internet of Things offering, on-demand remote ocean monitoring as a managed service. This project will collect data in real time that'll be used in research, specifically work already underway on ice drifts, oceanographic forecasting, oil spill drifts, and modeling. It'll allow Rudder to become a leader in specialty radar systems, data acquisition, and cloud-based storage and analytics. This is another great example of the progress being made by our superclusters. Made possible through the team efforts of partners like the provincial government, the NRC's Industrial Research and Assistance Program, and Husky. Congratulations to Kendra and her team on the hard work. Congratulations to Rudder and its partners for undertaking this innovative project. Congratulations, Jonathan, for Husky's ongoing support. This work is important, it is meaningful, and it is having a real impact here. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Minister O'Regan, for your support and for joining us here today. Next, please join me in welcoming Minister Andrew Parsons, who will provide remarks from the province of Newfoundland and Labrador.
Can I say that even with the good news of the vaccine, can we keep this practice? This is pretty cool. It reminds me of being at the hockey. We skated off, we clear the ice, and then I'll come back out. Good morning, everyone. It is an absolute pleasure to be here today and to be surrounded by the embodiment of the letters that make up the department I'm in: industry, energy, and technology. To see it all gathered here in one spot, it really is inspiring. Now, we know that in order to succeed in today's global economy, we need to figure out what are our strengths here at home. And obviously, we know that our strength is the ocean. It has always been the backbone of our economy, whether it's shipbuilding, whether it's transportation, oil and gas, fishery, aquaculture. We know the ocean's importance since the beginning of our history. Now, while COVID has obviously had an impact on all aspects of the economy, as was referenced, there are firms that are still out there that are creating, that are going on the offensive and looking for opportunities. And we see that obviously here with this latest project by the Ocean Supercluster. This project, which is led by Rudder, will enable innovation and will strengthen growth in our province. And obviously, Rudder has a very strong history of cutting-edge technology, of development, and they've obviously also developed into a significant player, not just here in this province, but beyond. So we're extremely happy on behalf of the province and our government to announce a non-repayable R&D contribution of nearly $744,000 to Rudder, which will help them modernize and to transform their radar systems and their products into a company-oriented cloud-based system. We believe that our support on behalf of the government of Newfoundland and Labrador will enhance the technology that Rudder has, and in turn, it's going to create economic value and it's going to lead to job creation. Obviously, this project, again, highlights the strong technical presence that we have in our offshore marine industry. It further increases our R&D capacity, and I'm just delighted to be here and to see our growth continue in our local companies, especially on the tech side. I think today is a significant accomplishment, not just for Rudder, but for our entire community and our province. I want to congratulate the team here at Rudder. And I would be remiss if I didn't point out some pretty amazing people within our department. We got Vips and Bill and Dorianne. I'm pretty lucky. I get to stand up here and make the announcements, but we all know that this hard work is going on behind the scenes, and I'm just really happy to be a part of a pretty awesome team over in this department. So again, they've been working hand in hand with Rudder to get this funding done to help move this project forward. So on that note, I want to thank everybody for the opportunity to be here. I want to congratulate Rudder. Thank you to Ocean Supercluster, Kendra and your team for everything you've been doing. It's a pretty good day when you can get here and be able to announce good news, and it's always nice to stand up and see a lot of familiar faces when we do that. Thank you so much.
feel bad every time I get up and just say two sentences and make you come back over. Thank you, Minister Parsons. And now I will invite our Chief Technology Officer, Susan Hunt, to come forward to speak a little about the project and to introduce the project partners.
Well, Kendra, I'm about to do the same thing, so you're not alone with the two-liner. Thank you, Kendra, and thank you, ministers. Good morning, everyone. As the Chief Technology Officer of Canada's Ocean Supercluster, I have the opportunity to see projects advance from ideation through to proposal approval, contracting, and announcements like today. There's no question that there has been a huge level of activity leading to where we are now. But what's really exciting is that there's a lot more to come. Since March, we have received over 250 project ideas from over 400 organizations, all in the face of a global pandemic. And that's not to minimize the impacts that ocean sectors have seen due to COVID-19. But my point is that the future of oceans, in terms of a source of innovative, digital, sustainable growth, is very bright, and our opportunity here in this province is really game-changing. As mentioned, we are here today to announce and celebrate the next Ocean Supercluster project in our journey. The Rudder IoT project is led out of St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador, and is a collaboration between Rudder and Husky Energy, with the support of Canada's Ocean Supercluster, the Government of Newfoundland and Labrador, and the National Research Council of Canada. This is an exciting new project that has applications across multiple ocean sectors and will use specialty radar system data acquisition and cloud-based storage and analytics to deliver marine information with greater access, accuracy, and efficiency. To provide more details on this project, I'd like to invite Fraser Edison, President and Chair of Rudder's Board, for remarks.
Since the beginning, we've been trying to see what's just over the horizon. The first radars changed everything, using electromagnetic energy to see beyond what we had ever seen before. Now, at Rudder, we're going beyond what was ever thought possible in a radar system. Farther, clearer, smarter, with so much more detail. Navigating routes through dense pack ice in the laneways of the north, and illuminating hidden hazards. Finding targets as small as a person in any condition. Tracking and outlining oil spills for fast and effective response. And now, with a full suite of ocean wave and current monitoring technologies, we're measuring the seas in high definition, understanding currents and how to measure them, improving safety for at-sea operations, and looking into the future to predict the unpredictable. Developed through the strength and expertise of over 20 years in ocean innovation and thousands of deployments across the 7 seas. In oil and gas, shipping, defense, coastal monitoring, harbor management, cruise lines, and institutional sectors. Designed and built in Atlantic Canada to work in the world's harshest conditions. Rudder. See beyond.
Thank you. I guess I really have nothing to say. It's all there. Thank you all for coming, ministers and Kendra and Susan, and appreciate the media coming out. It's a special day for us, and I'd like to welcome you all here. In 1998, Rudder has been on the leading edge of the ocean technology, developing innovative, best-in-class marine radar augmentation and image tools for, as you see, navigating in the ice, detecting oil spills, and monitoring waves and currents, and for security, safety, and sovereignty applications. Over the last 22 years, since we've been in business, as an organization, we've invested millions of dollars in developing marketing products for the global marine and scientific communities. And we're continuing to invest because in this particular project, we as a company are also, after my little twisting of the board of directors, investing $720,000 as our commitment to the project as well. We're thrilled today to be embark upon this new wave, which is really next wave, I suppose, of the radar as a service. So really radar now is taking on a little different role, as we're going to be providing a different type of service to many organizations that would require services such as the oil industry, wind, and so on. The idea of leveraging the power of the cloud technology to develop new applications for the mariners and scientists and the offshore renewable energy and the stressed renewable energy is also becoming a big role for us and oil and gas operators worldwide. We do operate actually in 40 countries. We now have our products are operating in 40 different countries around the world. So we're not, it's just not a Newfoundland venture or Canadian venture. So it's worked out very well. But by now, as you mentioned earlier about the Internet of Things or IoT, I guess they couldn't come up with so many things. So we like to think of the initiative as the Ocean of Things or OOT, which is a very complex interconnected web of technology that is the next logical step in our rather corporate and product evolution. The outcome of the OOT product or project will give mariners a full suite of radar tools, allowing for data to be shared and disseminated and via the internet wherever you are in the world. It doesn't matter if it's happening here, if it's happening in Saudi Arabia or whatever the case may be. This is all going to be live, real time. This information is available to you. It's no matter if you had an unfortunate oil spill somewhere and the president or the CEO of that organization, who could be in Timbuktu, he can pick that up and look at that on his iPad and he can follow it. So everything will be available in that fashion, which to my mind is going to be a great tool for everybody. So it's a lot of fun. It's going to be a challenge. When I look at the group of people we've got working here, the ingenuity, the dedication of all of our software engineers and all those that are here, is because of the COVID situation. We were limited to the number of people who may be here, and of course, as of yesterday, had to shrink a little bit more. But I do want to acknowledge my CEO and Blair Wheaton and Steve Hale, who is the vice president. Des Smith, who is R&D manager, and Chris Dawson, who's going to run this project. Unfortunately, some of them are out in the other room watching this streaming because they couldn't be here. But they're a great talented bunch of people, and they're very dedicated. So I want to thank certainly all of the people who have certainly giving their time and their money, which is coming from Kendra's group, from Supercluster, and certainly from, I'm sure, as I've had a number of conversations with Seamus over the years of what we do and getting his support, and the same thing in the provincial government with Andrew and his team. And I agree with you, because you do have a remarkably great team in that organization that really understand what we do, and we can really sit down and they get it, which is great. And of course, I can't thank Husky enough for, in order to do all this, when you look at the collecting data, and you can imagine what the cost of a supply vessel on a per day basis, if we had to go out and have to pay that kind of money for those types of ability to collect that data. But Husky has worked with us for years now on many occasions, and they've been very supportive in helping us collect data using their vessels. And I really appreciate that, Jonathan. One other thing, I love it when I got a little bit of an audience, so I got to have I do have it. I just want to say there is a little spoiler coming up in January. When we talk about diversity in products, in January, we will be announcing the release of another game-changing initiative that will work for the next, that we've been working on for 10 years. We've invested a huge amount of our own money, and we've had assistance for bits and pieces of it from all across government and to the oil industry. And now we're ready to put that to market. So all of your investments, you're going to start to see some benefits again here in this organization, and for all, because we're going to release this next month. I won't get into the details, but it's really, really exciting for us to be able to do these things, which will take us not only looking into the oil industry and working with institutions for what they need, the services we have. But now we're looking at wind. And as we know, wind is becoming a big thing and it's huge offshore. And so we have lots to say about that. So with that, I won't go any further. I'm going to leave it at that. And I'll ask Jonathan if he'd like to come up and have a few remarks. Thanks again. And from a technical standpoint, Steve Hale is the guy you want to talk to. That's way above my pay grade. Oh, my mask.
Great. We will now hear from Jonathan Brown, Senior Vice President of Husky Energy Atlantic Region, who will speak about their partnership with Rudder and their role in helping making this project happen.
Thank you very much, and good morning. We're not really doing the heavy lifting here, so I'll try and be brief as I'm the last speaker. But I'm very pleased to be here on behalf of Husky Energy and to say a little bit about our role in the project and how this technology will help Husky and other ocean users. I'd like to start by recognizing the members of our marine operations team for bringing the opportunity to support this project to us and for moving it forward with local support from our IS team and vessel captains. Today's announcement is made possible by lasting relationships and proven success and a collaborative approach. So thank you very much for your words, Fraser, at the end there. Well, this started with just a maintenance contract for some radar, ice radar that we acquired. We both quickly saw the potential to go beyond the confines of the system and develop an enhanced capability for Husky's needs offshore Newfoundland and Labrador. Husky's been maturing its ice management program through the introduction of a geographic information system, which mapped all sources of ice and offshore asset information into one common operating picture. The power of Rudder's radar system became a logical contributor to that information. At the end of the day, integrating that data in a way which is logical and easy to interpret leads to more informed decisions, and that can only benefit our safety and integrity offshore. The vessels we have under charter transit Grand Banks from St. John's to White Rose Field regularly. This happens with or without this research. So when Rudder came to us with a proposal to collect raw data, environmental data from our scanners, and integrate it into our ice management system, it was very clearly a win-win proposition. By providing access to data acquired during vessel transit, we're creating better decision-making tools for the industry. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Fraser and Jonathan, and congratulations to all of the project partners. The availability and access to data will become increasingly important as we grow what is becoming an increasingly digital ocean economy. This $3.1 million Rudder IoT project, or OOT project, we announced today is an important collaboration between Rudder and Husky Energy, as you heard, that will generate new activity in ocean, create new jobs, and provide radar ocean data that is critical for decision-making and operations across ocean sectors. The Ocean Supercluster is incredibly proud to announce our 15th project with more announcements coming in the weeks ahead. In fact, coming before Christmas, so watch this space in the next week or so for more exciting news. If you don't already follow along, I encourage you to check out our 12-week Story to Tell video series on our social media channels. I certainly encourage you to hear the stories of some of our amazing members and their work in ocean innovation. And if you want to learn more or to get involved, please reach out to our team, and we will be more than happy to start the conversation. You can also find us online at oceansupercluster.ca. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you.